So you see these letters, Pungra, Pungra. That doesn't look like it's spelled right. What the My name is Ravi Sandhu. I'm the founder of the organization Pungra, spelled Pungra. I'm also the author of this book, The Day Pungra Died. Notice how Pungra is spelled the conventional way. In this video, I'm not explaining what that word is in all that much detail. I'll touch on it a little bit, but if you want a deeper dive on my perspective on what that word is, please listen to my book or read my book, The Day Pungra Died. To understand what Pungra is spelled Pungra, I need to start you from the beginning. In the year 1999, I started teaching Dol, as you can see the Dol drum here. I started learning it when I was 17, and then after about a year or so, I just felt like teaching classes and started teaching to some friends. That's kind of where my journey into music and Punjabi music started. And something really interesting happened. Before long, the class became about 20 people learning the Dol. Boys and girls, all sort of teenagers. I was 18, 19, and anywhere from about 12 years old and a bit more. But then something interesting happened. The teenagers, all the people that were playing the Dol, their mums started showing up. And they wanted to hear the Dol, but they wanted to dance. So they pretty much said to me, hey, can we come here? And at first I thought, do you want to learn the Dol? And they said, no, we want to do Bhangra Mundeya. So it was quite interesting. And all these people were aunties to me at that time. What I noticed were people were coming and they're not coming back. They were showing me a lot of enthusiasm. They'd phone me up and ask all sorts of questions and stuff. They'd come and then they didn't come back the following week and many, many weeks later. So I used to phone people up to say, hey, you used to come. Why? You were so enthusiastic. What happened? And they said, look, Mundeya. They didn't actually say that, but it's sort of here in my head. We came for exercise, but we didn't feel like it was a very good workout. We think it could be, but the way you teach the class isn't really that good a workout. And I thought about that. Now, I could have just gone, all right, fair enough, bye. But no, actually, that's what I wanted. I wanted for me to feel like it was a good exercise class and for everybody else. And I thought about that and I thought, how do I fix this problem? Because to me, it felt like a good workout, but what am I missing? I decided to embark on this course called Exercise to Music Level 2. The whole point being that I'd go to the college, figure out like, what am I doing not quite so right, make some tweaks and apply it to my class. I failed the course abysmally. I went into that course thinking, I know what I'm doing. By this point, I'd been teaching classes, as you could see, dozens of people, sometimes like 50, 60, 70 people could fit into that room. And I thought, I know what I'm doing. I came to this course thinking I'll learn a few little bits, sort of like when I learned driving. So before I went to do my practical test and theory test, I was driving around with my dad and so on. I went to do my driving test, I passed first time. And that, I don't know, maybe that's arrogance, that overconfidence. I thought I would be the same with this exercise to music level 2, but I had a wake-up call. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And here's the thing, most people who teach Bhangra classes are in the same place. They don't know, they've never done this sort of qualification before. So that will help you understand what Bhangra, the way I spell it, Pungra, is. Many people, and you're probably in this boat, don't feel too bad about yourself, but many people think it's just the same. Bhangra spelled the conventional way, Bhangra spelled this Pungra. He's just trying to be really clever and confuse people. But no, this is the better way to understand it. You take exercise to music level 2, the principles that I learned on that course, which I failed first time, I mentioned, but I've passed a few times. I've done it a few times since then. So you take the principles of that, then you apply Punjabi music, Bhangra if you want, but I think if you listen to my book, you'll understand why I'm saying Punjabi music. You put that into a funnel and out comes Bhangra spelled Pungra. So think of it like the next generation, or for what's next, for the fitness, for fitness. Bhangra is Pungra is my idea to take those two principles. So to understand those principles, it's worth taking a moment to recognize that Bhangra, spelled the conventional way, is dominated by performers, like people who put on pagga, turbans and beards and practice and Dol and traditional outfits. Is dominated by that. So most people, when they see the word Bhangra, they think that's what it's all about. And actually, when they see the exercise version, a couple of things happen. One is people think, well, it's not as good because it doesn't look as good. Because if you're dominating, if the scene is dominated by performers, and then exercises aren't trying to look good. So the layperson thinks, well, it doesn't look very good. It can't be very good. The other thing is, many people are masquerading as fitness classes when they're actually performing. So to understand, you need to see that bhangra is not one thing, spelled the conventional way. Looking at this Venn diagram, the one thing we can say for certain is that bhangra, or Punjabi music, sits in the middle of this Venn diagram. And there are at least 3 reasons why people listen to this music or use this music. The oldest and the perhaps most common for the majority of people at this time is social, what I call social. So that includes things like parties, celebrations, wedding receptions, club nights, daytimers, and so on. That fits in that top part of the Venn. Then you've got performing, which is the bottom left, which is where people intentionally put a routine together. Usually they put some routine together, but the intention is to impress an audience. It's always about the audience. The audience is the customer when it comes to performing. And then you've got the bottom right, which is where my focus is. And a lot of people's focus isn't on this. I'll come back to that in a moment. A lot of people's focus isn't on this, where the focus is on the health of the individual, the fitness of the person taking part, not thinking about an audience. So many people, they'll say, like you'll see on various social media platforms, that we are Bhangra Fitness, but they're not. What they are is they're performers wearing fitness clothing. So it's like, you know, a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you like. No criticism or anything, but it's just helping you understand the difference. That what I'm trying to do, if you come to my class or get involved with Bhangra, is focusing on the third part of that Venn diagram. So I want you to ask more often, WTF, and you can replace the F word, the F, for a more pleasant, family-friendly word, which is fitness. So you need to spend more time, I think, and I hope by now you've taken some clues about what Bhangra, what I do is. You need to ask more often, what? That's fitness? WTF. So when people are dancing for performance, in the same way as if someone's dancing on a wedding reception, you wouldn't think that's fitness. In the same way, but performing isn't really about fitness. You do have to be fit, ideally, to perform. Some people get away with it without being very, very fit. But remember, that's not the intention. Exercise to music level 2, people who've completed that will learn what a good fitness or what a good exercise class looks like. And I learned a very big lesson, and that's what I hope to help other people do. So you're probably more interested in, well, what is it about exercise to music level 2 that's so interesting or good? And remember, many people have got exercise to music level 2, but they kind of like, in the same way as you can pass your driving test, but kind of still make mistakes and not indicate properly, and all, you can still pass and not be a very good driver, or a risky driver. So some people do that when it comes to performing as well. They're still performers at their heart. They just happen to try and make it about fitness by wearing leggings or trainers or whatever. My belief system, my value system is, look, people want fitness. Now, 95% of people I spoke to say they want exercise and fitness. So put that at the heart. It's a revolution in thinking. So put that at the heart of what we do, and add on the Punjabi movement and the Bhangra movement and all of that on top. But that's not the important bit. The exercise principles are the important bit. So here are some of those principles. The thing to understand is exercise to music level 2 is the benchmark for bona fide fitness instructors, fitness centers. So meaning that to teach at fitness centers, to teach exercise classes to music at fitness centers, bona fide, so fitness centers worth their salt, will insist that instructors have exercise to music level 2. It's your benchmark, it's your foundational thing. And you'll say, or you might say, oh, there's some fitness centers I've seen that, people probably don't have that. That, in my mind, is the fitness center is setting themselves up for a problem, because what they usually do is they get the instructor to sign that they have got exercise to music level 2. The instructor just signs, digitally these days. So we need to solve that. That's a problem, because there's a lot of deception going on. So my aim is to encourage more people to learn exercise to music level 2. And so here, not just the instructors, but also participants know the difference. So you ask more often, what? That's fitness? You know the difference between a performer who hasn't got exercise to music level 2 and a genuine bona fide fitness instructor that's worth their salt in a genuine bona fide fitness center. So here are some examples. But principally, exercise to music level 2 is about being safe and effective. So safe looks like this: a good warm-up, modifications, meaning making the exercises a bit different for different people, adaptation, so bringing them down energy-wise for different people, and they kind of overlap, modifications and adaptations. Cueing, so being able to use verbal cueing, so step to the left, step to the right, being able to use visual cueing, so pointing, using fingers, moving arms across the body, being able to do that to direct the class as to what's next, cooling down, static stretching, and the appropriate clothing. So for example, in a performing class, for Pungra performing, it's actually very normal to be barefoot, but in an exercise class, you don't do that in a fitness center. Barefoot is considered a very high risk for slipping. So that's one example, but traditional Bhangra performers would not wear trainers under their gear. So helping you to understand some of these differences. So as well as safe, effective is very important, such as high intensity interval training. Performing doesn't do that, but exercise classes, it's very important to have high intensity interval trainings because the science shows that's going to have a bigger impact on your body, your physique. It's personalized, so you don't have to be as good as everybody else or as bad as everybody else. In a performing setting, that's really important, that everyone's about the same. But in a fitness setting, an exercise setting, you push in as much energy as you can handle, and if somebody's very low fitness, that's fine as well. It all works. And in my classes, there's no choreography. I don't believe in choreography for fitness and exercise classes. There are some exercise brands that still believe in choreography. I think hopefully they might change their opinion one day. But I don't believe in choreography. It's too much preparation for instructors and it's too much cognitive load on the participants. So you don't have to learn any choreography to exercise. In the same way someone can say to you, do 10 burpees, 10 squats, 10 lunges. Why can't you do 10 kicks over here, 10 steps over here? Why can't you do that? And the instructor can, on the fly, decide what to do depending on how the class is getting on. When they've got choreography, they get very rigid. This is what the class should be. But what if those moves are too basic for everybody? Or what if those moves are too complicated for everybody? In my mind, an instructor should be free to be able to modify and adapt according to the class, make it more complex for certain groups, make it more simple for other groups. The other thing is, in a fitness center, this doesn't happen with performing Bhangra. In a fitness center, the expectation is if your class is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m, it should be pretty much non-stop, with a slight break just to change the music or whatever, but it should be moving. And the one criticism that I've heard so many times from people who go to fitness centers to a fitness class is, oh, they kept stopping and explaining steps and so on. If you have to explain the steps, you're making it too complicated as a fitness instructor. You should be able to do them just kind of shouting over the music and visual cues. That's the mark of a good fitness instructor. If you have to explain stuff, then you're making it too complicated and it's too much about performing potentially. And finally, no costumes. There's a risk of slipping. No cheesy smiles. Got nothing to do with fitness. You'll see many performers who go, smile, smile, smile. And it's not necessary to have beards. So I hope that helps you understand what is exercise to music level 2. By now, I hope you see that my ambition isn't just to teach 1 or 2 classes a week. My ambition is to help other people take the best of exercise to music level 2, take the best of Bhangra performing and bring it together and join me on this journey to help more people exercise. So I'm working on a certified instructor course, something that will be recognized in the fitness industry, that if people complete it, I hope you'll be interested, if people complete it, they can become a certified in the fitness industry instructor to Punjabi music. Now they can teach whole classes like the way I do to Punjabi music, or they could do other music styles and have Punjabi tracks in there. Now some people do that already, but there's nothing out there that's a formal way for you to learn how to do that as an instructor. So I'm going to create that. And then Bhangra, the organization, Pungra, is going to become a charity. So that's my absolute aim, is for it to become a charity. I believe there's a lot of pride and a lot of potential for people to want to be a part of this, not necessarily exercising, but donating money to help more people exercise, help more children exercise and adults exercise. So that's why I want to form it into a charity, to invite people to donate so we can help people become instructors because it costs a bit of money. To do exercise to music level 2. We will never offer that. There's plenty of organisations that do that. But it costs money, like about £500 to £700 for people to do that. And also it costs money to put on classes. I think there's enough people out there that would donate just a little bit of money per month and we could do lots more classes and use that money, I should say, to increase participation in classes. And finally, My vision is for us to make the world's best Punjabi music video, exercise to Punjabi music videos freely available on YouTube, so that people all around the world, wherever they can access YouTube in their living room, can work out with us. So I hope that you really want to be a part of this future, beyond perhaps just participating in classes. I hope you like the idea. I hope you like the concept. So if that's got you interested, then I encourage you, the number one thing you can do is just please stay involved in terms of updates from me. Go to bhangra.fit, spelled my way, Pungra, the organization, bhangra.fit, put your email address in, and I want to make sure that you're kept up to date with this mission, this idea, this aim that I have to get more people thinking, what? That's fitness, and instead shift their minds towards having a more user-centric or more customer-centric approach to the way classes are taught that is really genuinely about the exercise and fitness and not masquerading as fitness, but really is about performing. See you soon.